For the last few months, I was really intrigued on how to use credit card points in the best way. And I finally think I have a better hold on how to really use points to get better rewards. So before I get into this episode on using credit card points, as a quick warning, you should never just open credit cards if you are not good at paying off your bills on time and in full. I only recommend leveraging credit cards if you are responsible with your credit and your finances. If you aren't, make sure to watch my videos on how to boost your credit score. If you're all good here though, let's move on to the next part. Credit card points can be redeemed for travel, and in 2023, we redeemed over $7,000 worth of travel. With flight redemptions, the idea is a lot of people get business and first class flights for as little as what I spent, around $288 per flight. I was able to do this because I was able to redeem my credit card points for these flights. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is if you spend through the portal within the credit card, usually the redemption rate is not going to be that great. For example, with Amex, 100 points equals $1. At the same time, if you try to rack up points through specific airlines, it's going to take a longer time. Whereas if you transfer the points from your credit card to the airlines and then you do a lot of research on specific flights you could snag, you can get some really great deals. Now, even if you understand this whole transfer part, it does get really confusing and it does take a lot of work to find the flights, and that's why I wanted to go over this tutorial of what I did today. Here's a bit of background. At the end of last year, we had some big expenses coming up with property taxes and things like that. So we decided to open 3 credit cards, which included 1 personal and 2 business cards. And I'm gonna just talk about the Amex Gold right now because I'll give you a little tutorial of how I booked everything with the Amex points. Amex Gold is one of my favorite cards because you get 4x points back on dining, 4x points back on grocery stores, and then 3x back on flights. So you can get a lot of points back. We knew we'd also get a hefty welcome bonus on top of what we'd get from just spending day to day. So we highly recommend this one. If you guys want, you guys can check it out in my referral link. It basically lets you get that bonus if you hit their spending requirement. And again, if you want to follow my tutorial here exactly, you'll want to sign up for a card and hit their spending minimum to get that welcome bonus. Getting that bonus will make it a lot easier to get these first class flights for less. Depending on the card, these bonuses can range from maybe 30 to 90k points and require you to spend maybe 3 to 6k over 3 to 6 months. Just really depends on the card, but getting this bonus will make it so that you can use those for your flights. And since I'm doing an Amex tutorial, it'll just be easier with the Amex Gold, so go ahead and check that out in the description below. After we got our welcome bonuses on our cards, I decided to look up flights. My goal was to use my Amex points for a nice business or first class flight. I also wanted to see if I could find something under 100k points for redemption. Now, 100k points for a business class or first class flight is already pretty good, but if I could beat that, that would be even cooler. Also, apparently I have flown business or first class when I was a baby or a little kid or something like that because my dad was able to get one of those flights for our family one time because it was paid for by his company for some work trip, but I don't remember it. So other than that, I've never flown anything other than economy, and that's why I wanted to try this out. I had also learned that most people do use their Amex points for business or first class flights because the redemption rate is better for those better flights over economy. Now we're currently in Asia, and I knew that I wanted to go somewhere else in the summer, either North America or Europe. So I started looking, and then first I checked out what partners Amex allows me to transfer to. You guys definitely want to check what airlines your credit card allows you to transfer to. So I checked a bunch of different ones like ANA, Delta, Air France, Cathay Pacific. Nothing was really sparking my eye, and it was really difficult to look through each of these portals. Basically, when you are looking through these portals, you do have to sign up for their club memberships. It's free to join, but it is kind of annoying, and their search engine isn't the best. You don't really get the option to search through their calendar and flexible options usually. But what made it easier was searching on Reddit, doing a lot of research, and finding that you can actually use a site called flightconnections.com, and then from there you can see what airports specific airlines fly to. So I highly recommend this site. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just think it's pretty good because it makes the research process easier if you're pretty flexible on where you want to go. So right now I'm in Flight Connections, and for example, if you're looking at Virgin Atlantic flights, you can see that here you can go Shanghai to London. And that's kind of what I did. I was looking for something from Asia to Europe, and this was kind of the closest that I could get. So I was like, all right, maybe I should just start from Shanghai to London. I knew I'd be able to get myself to Shanghai since I'm currently hanging out in Asia, so I figured this would work. Then I went to Virgin Atlantic and logged into my account. Again, you need to sign up for your own account when you're doing this whole thing. I inputted Shanghai to London, so let's do that right here. Shanghai to London, and I was just gonna do one way. So you can go show flexible dates. So for departure date, you can just kind of decide when you're about to go. So let's put in like August or so. Now again, this is in real time, so if you guys are trying to book something like this, you can totally do that as of me recording this right now. Now if you go to advanced search, you can just search for points, and let's continue. Now, if you want to do economy flights, this is really cheap, 18,000 points. I decided to look for the upper class flights. So if you go into this, you can see. So you can actually get this for 54,000 points right now. As you can see though, you do need to pay for a fee for this. So with the conversion rate, 17-19 yuan here, Chinese yuan to USD means you're paying about $248 USD on top of the points. As a note, you will always need to pay some type of fee for this, and $250. It is kind of frustrating you have to pay that, but it's a normal amount. And actually when I looked for the opposite, so if I looked from London to Shanghai, the fee was double. It was way more. So I decided to just do the Shanghai to London version, and I basically did this exact flight but different dates. So you can totally book this as well. And lo and behold, at the time, Amex also had a pretty cool promotion where if you transferred your 1,000 Amex points, it would equal to 1,300 Virgin Atlantic points. So you are already getting 1.3 CPP, which means cents per point. So once you find flights you're happy with, and I mean, again, you can use the same ones I did, you can go to your American Express portal and click rewards and benefits up here. And then you can click transfer points. Now you can click view all to see all the partners that you can transfer to. And there's a bunch of different ones here, as you can see. You scroll all the way down and you can choose Virgin Atlantic Flying Club. You just click show details. And because you have signed up for a Virgin Atlantic account, it'll give you a member ID. You just need to make sure it matches, and then you can actually transfer the points in here. Now you don't want to mess this up, because if you transfer points from the Amex account to the airline, you can't transfer them back. So you need to make sure that you're doing this correctly, and I highly suggest finding the flight you want to get before you transfer anything, because you don't want to be stuck with those points in your airline portal and not be able to use them for something else if you can't find a good flight there. So since I got the 1,000 Amex points to 1,300 Virgin Atlantic points offer, I only had to spend about 52,000 points for my flight, along with $242 for the fees. Since I bought it for both Sean and I, that equated to about 104,000 points and $484 in fees. Now, if you wanted to get the same flight with dollars, as you can see, it would have been $3,772 for this flight. So as you can see, it's a really good deal. Instead of paying $3,700 per flight, I'm only paying $240 one way to London on a business/first class flight. So I really hope this helped, because I wish I saw someone give an exact tutorial of what I'm doing here, as I spent way longer trying to figure out all these things, but I did this so you don't have to do all of that yourself. So as a recap, number one, if you want to do any of this, you're going to need a credit card, and you need points that can actually transfer to these partners. And Amex does transfer to Virgin Atlantic, for example. I do recommend the Amex Gold, so go ahead and check out my referral link in the description below. Number two, you're going to want to research the flight you actually want and use tools like flightconnection.com, and make sure you're signing up for all the different airline miles memberships so you can transfer your points to those different airlines when you find the flight that you want. Number three, once you find the flight you want, use the Amex portal and transfer those points to that airline. It can usually take a max of 2 days, but I believe mine was pretty fast for the transfer. Then number four, book the flight you want and enjoy. If you guys want to see it, I'll do a follow-up of my experience on the Virgin Atlantic flight when it happens, and let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else from me. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified of my latest videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.